got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone and affection. I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the.
Welcome back to another episode of the Problems on Problems podcast. I am your host, Mike Santee, and this is episode 3. What are we going to talk about? Who knows? We'll find out later on. First, though, thank you guys. Thank you. I cannot thank you guys enough for the comments, the DMs, everybody reaching out about the divorce story. Like, I appreciate all your well wishes. Blanket statement, I'm great. I'm great. We'll have a part 2 eventually. I just got to figure out which story I want to end up telling, where you guys don't waste 20 minutes just hearing about nonsense that you could basically find out, I don't know, online maybe? I don't know. Anyways, I'm fine. We're doing great. Actually, what I'll do is, by this time you guys will already have seen or will see the Cribs episode, but without further ado, as if 2020 really needed any other craziness, North Carolina decided to have its first hurricane in 100 hurricane. It decided to have its first earthquake in like 100 years. There was a magnitude 5.1 earthquake in Sparta, North Carolina, which is about an hour 40-ish minutes from Charlotte, where your boy, I gotta stop saying that, where I live. And I felt it. I didn't know it was an earthquake. I would have told people 10 times over that I would have guessed ghosts before I guessed earthquake. And what I mean by that is that, like, normally Sunday mornings I wake up, I'm chilling, I might grab my phone, start scrolling through social media and stuff like that. Like, I know it's bad. It's fine. Honestly, do what you want to do. If you want to scroll through your phone in the morning and or at night, forget what everyone else says about, like, oh, it's going to interrupt your sleep and all that stuff. Like, yeah, they might be right, but also, are you going to change it? Are you going to do anything different? If not, keep doing it. But yes, Sunday morning, I wake up, I'm on my phone, chilling, going through social media, and I think I get to the point where I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to put on TV to then fall asleep again, because this is way too early. I want to say it was like 7:30, maybe 8 o'clock. And if you know anything about me, Sundays, those are the days where I don't do anything, or I try not to. Outside of like going to church, or in this climate, watching or streaming church, I really try not to do much on Sunday except for chill and prep for the week, but that is way too much information, so don't worry about that. We'll continue with the story. So I'm sitting in bed, lying in bed. I'm not good at grammar. We'll figure that part out after. So I'm in bed, and it just felt as though, we'll keep it G-rated. My bed was shaking, but not like a violent shaking. It was more like a gentle nudging, like a back and forth kind of rocking, if you understand what I'm saying. Again, Mom, stop watching the podcast. You're going to hear a lot of things you don't want to hear. But yeah, so there's some like gentle nudging, if you want to call it, on my bed, where I genuinely did not know what was going on. My first thought, and how I know that, like, I genuinely don't really go to the supernatural in my first line of thought, was I legitimately just thought, I was like, okay, maybe there's either like some heavy construction outside, something like that. Now, mind you, I live in, it's not a high rise. I live in an apartment building. There are multiple floors, and I live closer to the top of those floors. And I don't know why I thought it was construction. Who cares? It doesn't matter. But then I just chilled there, and then I thought, because my mom, if you couldn't tell by episode 2 and by the subtitles, my mom is from the Dominican Republic. She is very proud of that. She is an American citizen, got her citizenship, gosh knows how long ago. But yeah, so accent's still hella thick. I kind of compare it to, and I say this lovingly, I kind of compare it to Sofia Vergara, where the longer they're in the country, the thicker the accent gets, which I'm cool with it. It's endearing to me. There are times where my mother does speak too fast for even myself to understand, and I've been around her my entire life. But yeah, no, it's so there's a joke out there in Spanish that says, or that asks, like, why do Colombians always speak as though they're about to cry? And the rebuttal to that is, why do Dominicans always speak as though there's a time limit? And that is my mom to a T. But yeah, so why did I say anything about that? She grew up very paranoid, very religious, and very Hispanic. And for the Hispanic listeners out there or viewers, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. The amount of fear that is in a Hispanic mother's like conscience at all times. And that definitely was the thing with her. So for how Hispanic and Catholic I was raised, you would have thought that my immediate next decision would have been, oh, there's a ghost. Homeboy needs to start praying, which I didn't think of, and I don't know why. But yeah, no, I would have thought, if you would have given me a list of things to talk about or to think about, like, hey, what caused the nudging of your bed? I would have said construction, but then I would have actually gone ghost before I guessed earthquake. And it wasn't until about maybe half hour later where we finally got the notifications, stuff like that, on the news and things like that there was a 5.1 earthquake. And then, just so everyone knows, because that was my first one ever, outside of one that hit somewhere in Virginia, and then I think Greensboro kind of felt it back in like 2013 or so. I had never like been part of an earthquake or anything like that. Everyone on the West Coast is laughing at this because honestly, it wasn't that bad. But yeah, no, North Carolina hasn't seen a 5.1 magnitude, anything close to a 5.1 earthquake in the last 104 years. Last time being a 5.2 back in whatever that math is, because I'm not going to pretend like I can do math. So I will just put in that year right here and you can see it. Listeners, if you're only listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, it's a year. I don't know what it is. I might put it in the comments, but who knows? But regardless, let's start off the week with a good old, well, not start off the week. You guys are watching this on Friday, but I started off my week with an earthquake. But that brings me to the next point in the show where we talk about the fact that it is Friday, people. Happy Friday to everybody. You made it. If you work Monday to Friday, you made it. If you don't work Monday to Friday, there might be some hope that your shift ends sometime today and that there's some form of a day off during your weekend. If not, keep moving, keep grinding, do your thing. But no, I immediately just thought of like 15 people that I know that work solely on weekends, or those are their busiest times. For you guys, happy Friday. It's about to be busy. Keep doing your thing. Love you all. But yeah, so I have no idea why I was saying that. I think I just wanted to tell you guys happy Friday. There's been a thing that I've been, I guess, thinking about this year, really since quarantine started, because your boy is, I have to stop saying that, but until I learn how to stop saying that, we're just gonna keep calling myself your boy. So yeah, that's a thing. Your boy's been, I don't know, binging everything under the sun. Like I got my own Netflix subscription, which fruit flies, hate them. You guys can't see them on camera, so now I look like a madman. But yeah, I got my own Netflix subscription, which is how you know you're like reaching adulthood. When you're like, let me stop bumming off of my ex. Let me stop bumming off of friends, all that stuff. Get your own is $15. But if you don't have to, by all means, don't do it. Mooch off everybody else as long as you can. That's not real advice. Don't take that to heart. But yeah, so I've been watching a lot of Netflix. I even got Hulu, which I'm starting to think I should just cancel Hulu because I haven't found anything that good on there except for one thing. But I've been like binging the crap out of any type of show, series, stuff like that. This last week I've been doing a lot with like or watching a lot of streamers on Twitch, which I have no idea why I would do that. Like, I could just play the video games myself, but who knows? Maybe it's just on in the background, whatever. But when I'm not streaming, I immediately start thinking about like series, movies, things like that. So any suggestions while we're locked down, bring them on in. Send them to, you know, the handles down there. You know what they are. Send them to @MikeSanty18, @Problems on Problems Podcast, @Problems_pod on Twitter, @MikeSanty18 also on Twitter, on most social medias. But yeah, so whatever you guys want to send me to watch, I will more than likely end up finding a couple series that I want to watch. I'll do some reviews on them, which I'm actually doing a review now because we're going to talk about Last Chance U. And before we do that, we're going to talk about the one thing that is starting to possibly concern me. It's a different phase of life, but over the last couple of weeks, I've started becoming a larger fan of anime. And for there's only 100 to 200 of you watching, so I just lost 90% of you. For the 3 of you that are about to try and roast me, let me explain. So I rewatched Avatar: Last Airbender on Netflix, like from where I remember kind of watching it from, and I will have you know that show is amazing, animated or not. Like, you should watch it. Go crazy. A lot of life lessons, and you know what? Just watch it. It's fine. It's a cartoon. Embrace it. It's okay. No one's gonna judge you. I'm gonna judge you. But the other one that I started watching and that I ended up finishing was Attack on Titan, which I did not think I was going to be that interested in. For those of you that don't know, I'm going to butcher the summary of this thing without giving any spoilers. But Attack on Titan is a world that these giant human-like creatures live in called Titans, and they have a royal guard that hunts Titans and kills them so that the rest of humanity can continue living in peace. But yeah, so something in which that everybody gets to live in peace. And sort of fucking dog. I'm going to. But yeah, Attack on Titan, go watch it. I know Netflix just has season 1 out there right now. There are a lot of plot twists and turns and things like that. It doesn't end up where I thought it was going to end up, but I'm okay with that. And yeah, so Netflix has the first season on there, but then the other part is that Hulu did some crazy thing that I'll research later with anime productions and stuff like that, and ended up actually having the rest, actually all the seasons, dubbed over in English, also subtitled into English. I got too used to hearing the Japanese voices, so when I tried to switch over to the English voices, it just didn't match for me, so I watched the entire series in original Japanese audio and then English subtitles. So I basically read the entire series. But yeah, no, that one was dope. But the one that I really want to talk about right now, because I just got into it, or at least this 5th season, is Last Chance U. And I'm gonna butcher this because I think that's the phrase this week. I'm gonna butcher this. And why not? You might as well. But yeah, so season 5 is in Oakland, California. Shout out to the Bay. And Bay Area, the town, you know the deal. I don't know why I'm giving shout outs to areas that I don't know, but hey man, shout out to the Bay, shout out to Oakland, shout out to the town. And they follow the Laney College Eagles, Golden Eagles, something like that. We'll fix it in the post edits. But yeah, I'm 1 episode in and I'm already sold. They got these dudes. They got Dior Walker-Scott, who plays wide receiver, who in 1 episode already, I'm like, this dude is about that life. He literally gives, how far are we into this episode? He gives no fucks. And by no fucks, I mean, like, he does what he needs to do to survive so that he can go play football. Like, homie's working at, like, a Wingstop. I think he's sleeping out of his car for a point in time. I won't give you any more spoilers. And the other guy that I'm like rooting for hard in this season is a guy whose name I can't pronounce, but I believe it's like Nuu Tagavau or Tagava, something like that. We'll fix it. I'll get there. I'll learn how to say it. But my man plays O-line, is raising a daughter, just killing the game. Like he started off working in Walmart and then decided, you know what, I should probably like get some stuff together, not work at Walmart anymore. Not saying that Walmart is a bad place to work, but that's not where he wants to work. So your boy's going to get out. And by your boy, I don't mean me, because I shouldn't say that anymore. I mean him. So we'll see what happens on in the season. But yeah, like I said, any other ideas for series requests, not requests. If you want me to review a series, by all means, I will review a series. I do this thing where, gosh, we're about to expose a lot. All right, we're too deep into it. I do this thing where with The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, I refuse to spend a lot of time watching the entire season. So I will just watch the last 3 episodes, which if you don't know anything about The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, the last 3 episodes are basically, it's the semifinals, and then they cut the finals into 2 parts. So those are the 3 episodes that I watch. And within those 3 episodes, I will form all of my opinions on the remaining contestants, what I think about them, how do I think they pair up with the Bachelor or Bachelorette. And so I'll probably do the same thing with this series. So if you guys have anything kind of crazy / cringy, reality TV wise or other that you want to go over, review, let me know, because we'll do it. But yeah, so far, Last Chance U, killing the game. That's all I really care about right now. I'll probably binge that or try and get through that. Unless it turns into a thing. There are literally just... I bought bananas one time, and I've regretted ever since, because I have these fruit flies. If you guys know how to get rid of fruit flies, holla at your boy, because it's getting real. Like I'm losing my mind from watching 2 fruit flies, which I'm scientifically, they can't be the same 2, but I only ever see 2. And so in my head, it is the same 2 dudes just flying around my apartment. So if you got an idea how to get rid of them, let me know. If I got to adopt a frog, we will adopt a frog, okay? But yeah. So any series, anything like that, let me know. Another new segment that we have, it's not even really a segment, it's just a part to kind of wrap it up, because unless I'm interviewing someone, I'm not trying to be in front of camera. Mainly because I can't say sentences or full English sentences. I'm not trying to be in front of the camera or in your ears for any longer than really like 20 or so minutes, because there's only so much I can tell you in 20 minutes that's, number 1, interesting, but number 2, worth your time. So, and I say that as I just wasted about like 15 minutes of your day thanking you, talking about earthquakes, that I called hurricanes one time, and then talking about like shows that I'm watching during quarantine. But a segment that I wanted to do, especially if I'm going to keep releasing these episodes out on Fridays, is I kind of want to do almost like a Follow Friday or a Friday Follows, where we highlight me. It's just you, Mike. It is only you here. Friday Follows, where I kind of shout out a local business, and any kind of, honestly, it doesn't have to be local. I don't care. Anything that's kind of catching my eye right now. It might start off as local because I get a lot of kind of updates and notifications on things happening in Charlotte. But yeah, shout out business, shout out individuals, whatever. If you guys want to be on the Friday Follows, holla at me. I'll shout you out. It don't matter. But this week, we are talking about a restaurant that will open Thursday. So by the time this episode comes out, it will have already opened, but you can spend your weekend around there. Is Vana South End, Vana South End. It is a new restaurant coming out. I've seen nothing but good things on their posts. So whoever's running that social media page, like, by all means, props to you. Kudos to you. Keep doing your thing. And so I'm excited to see what comes from that restaurant, because their partner restaurant has been killing it. But yeah, so Vanna Southend. And then the person that we're shouting out this week is, that's a horrible drum roll. Mike, put in drum roll noises right now. The individual that we're giving the shout out to is none other than QC Javi. The boy's been doing bits on social media for a while. I've seen him host Hornets games on Latin night. You see him everywhere. The man is the Friday taco food plug. Okay. So anything that you guys kind of want to, if you want to get good tacos on a Friday, just hit Javi up. Not, and I don't say that because Friday there's like some taco special. All I ever see is everybody else posting about them going to a taco spot with Javi on Fridays. So let the man know, hit him up. He's doing bits in the media game. I've seen him featured with some Charlotte FC content. Keep doing it up. Keep doing big things, homie. Love you to death. Keep up the good work. And penultimately, multisyllabic. We using big words today, people, to end the show. So penultimately, another segment in the show, we're doing Friday food debates, something that is near and dear to my heart as I have an itchy head from these headphones. Friday food debates are something that I've been doing at work for, almost 2 years. Every Friday, I will send out a debate. And this Friday, just because I'm feeling kind of breakfasty, we're going to do better for breakfast, pancakes or waffles. You guys let me know in the comments. You let me know in the DMs if you got strong feelings about either one of them. But Friday food debate this week is going to be waffles. Pancakes are on this hand. Pancakes versus waffles. I will give you guys the results. I don't know, next Friday, next episode. You'll get the results on the next episode, and we'll kind of go through there. But lastly, and most importantly, this weekend is a very special person's birthday in my life. My beautiful, darling nephew, Lucas, turns 2. Correct me if I sound like an awful uncle. Yeah, Lucas turns 2 this weekend. So it's a big thing. I'm sorry I can't be there, Lucas. Theo loves you so, so much. I cannot wait to spend a million more birthdays with you, buddy. But have a good time. I know you're going to be around a lot of people that love you. And when you're finally old enough to understand this message, I'll have already been there and made up for a bunch of birthdays. But happy birthday, Lucas. I love you so, so much. Theo loves you. Have a good time. And if you could just not ever say that I'm smelly or stinky like your parents are teaching you to do. But yeah, I love you, buddy. Keep doing your thing. Keep terrorizing your parents and providing loads of laughs for me and everybody else. But with that, guys, I think that is it for the episode. Remind me next week to tell you about the meth lab. That's all I got for you. We're just going to leave it at there. But yeah, don't forget to comment, subscribe, like all the stuff. At Mike Santee 18 on all social medias, at Problems on Problems Podcast, on Instagram. So at Problems on Problems Podcast on Instagram, at Problems_pod on Twitter. Trying to clean that up, but there's only so many characters that you're allowed on usernames. But yeah, with that, guys, have a great weekend, and I will see you next week.
Check out problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. A phone in affection. I summon and dub it.